In today's video, we're gonna talk about how to find the perfect virtual assistant or freelancer for your project management needs. A lot of you might not be aware of what a project manager really is useful for. I'm telling you guys, if you're trying to increase your efficiency or your output with your agency, if you're trying to scale your agency, you're going to need someone that is a project manager on your team. So let's discuss that in this video. All right, welcome back everybody, and thank you for joining me. My name is Steen, also known as Serial Entrepreneur, and at this channel we talk all about starting a marketing agency, building a personal brand, or really just using digital marketing to build any business online. So if you're interested in any of those topics, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell in the bottom right-hand corner, and we'll send you all of our newest video trainings, resources, free giveaways that we do every single week here at my channel. And we have a quick winner update from the video on Instagram marketing from beginner to advanced. In case you guys don't know, all you have to do is watch any of our videos and tell us at the end what you learned in that video. And we're doing giveaways every single video that we upload. So all you have to do is come down here like Dev did. And basically he said, first, you give great content on both YouTube and Instagram. What I learned from this is branding on Instagram, be honest to the customer or reply and connect personally to the customers and clients. Instagram bio and design for posting the content that really matters, even your expert or beginner. Call to action is also excellent. Advice in bio, 70% of Instagram and rest 30% for social media and social media marketing. So congratulations, Dev, for winning the mentorship program. All you need to do is send us a message on Facebook at facebook.com/serial entrepreneur. That is our business page. Send us a message there and we will get your discount code over to you for 3 months of free mentorship from us. Oh guys, not only that, this video is super special because if you stay till the end, we'll teach you how you can actually get your first freelancing job for up to $50 absolutely free. So guys, when it comes to hiring any VA or freelancer, you really have to understand that the best thing you can do is be super specific of what you are looking for in the job description or the job posting that you're putting out there. You need to understand things like what goals are you trying to have them complete? What projects are they going to be working on? How long should it take them to complete these jobs? What skills and expertise is this person going to need? What availability will they need? Where do they need to be located? Do they need to be located in your time zone so that way you can work at the same time in the day? Or does it really matter if they're working when you're working or not? So guys, that would be tip number 1 in this 9-tip video, is make sure that you're super specific about what you are looking for in your planning, in your outreach. Every step of the way, you need to know exactly what you're looking for so that way you don't waste time on people that aren't even qualified for the job. Step 2 is planning ahead, okay? So not just going out and putting out a job posting as soon as you need it, but as you're putting together your proposal for a potential client, or as you're thinking about putting together a marketing campaign for your business, you need to consider who you're going to need to start, getting these jobs completed. The good thing about a project manager is that's actually their job. That's why it's so important to hire a project manager, because they take jobs like this or small projects or individual projects, and they make sure that everything is organized along the way, that communication is being done properly so that the whole team can work together. Other things that go along with this are things that go along into the actual job, what software they need to know, what actual tasks they'll need to perform on a day-to-day basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. You'll also want to know things that you're willing to compromise on, like the cost of the job, or if you need them to, work a little extra as far as hours are concerned. Maybe you want to do a flat rate style of pay. It's always up to you as the business owner. You don't have to work with someone, but you have to also be considerate of the VA or the freelancer that you're trying to hire. But guys, I promise you, planning ahead and actually taking the necessary steps to, really understand who you're hiring before you put out the post is going to save you so much time and money, because you're not going to waste it on people who, again, aren't qualified to do the job. So really quick question. I want to know this because I do so much hiring nowadays, and I know a lot of you are hiring VAs and freelancers. So what kinds of questions have been really beneficial for you guys in your interviews that you do with your VAs? And not to mention, if you guys aren't doing interviews, you definitely should be interviewing every single person that you bring on. But what questions work for you? Leave them in the comments right below this video. All right, everyone. So in tip number 3, we're going to talk about submitting an awesome job post, okay? It's not actually as complicated as a lot of people think. As long as you cover all of the basic information, really what you're trying to do is find the people, really filter through the people who aren't worth your time, so that way you can spend more time with the freelancers or VAs that are going to be, actually worth the effort. And so what we do is we put at least the basic information in the job post about, again, how long it's going to be for, what we're looking to spend, what the project job entails, what requirements might be, required of them. If they're a web developer, obviously they need to understand, coding languages. If they're a ad manager, they need to have experience running ads on Facebook, things like that, right? So we want to be specific. But here on FreeeUp, it's super easy. This is actually one of the biggest reasons why I like FreeeUp, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this towards the end of the video. But basically, they do all of the outreach for you. Like, they actually just go out and they find people based on your job posting and send them to you automatically. They have people on their back end who manage that for you. So, and that's completely free. It's a free service. So that's why I really like FreeeUp. They get you people very, very quickly. And you can see here, all you have to do is what skills do they need. So you can put Amazon marketing, PPC, SEO, right? Specific skills. And if you need SEO, what kind of skills? Local SEO, on site, or we'll put on page and off page, right? Boom. Like, if that's what we need this person to have, even though I would never do a job description for someone needing Amazon, PPC, and SEO, I would do those as 3 separate jobs, just so you guys are aware. But that's how simple it is. You put in the skills right there. Then you want to make sure you're asking the right questions or putting the right information inside of the job description. So how long will you want them to work for you? Which is actually one of the cool questions that they have already in here. See, right here, short term, mid-term, or long term, right? But sometimes it's important to put it in the description too, because a lot of these people looking at the jobs will read this. So how much experience do they need? Do you need a beginner? Is that okay? Do you need someone who's intermediate or expert level? Sometimes you don't always have to have an expert level person to do a specific type of job. Is it important for them to have experience in social media marketing, or really SMMA, running a marketing agency? Do they need to have experience working in the agency industry before, working with you? Because that says a lot about how that person's going to be able to manage their jobs and submit their work. What tools should they have experience with, or software or experience in general should they have experience with? Do you need a full-time or a part-time person? Again, that's going to come down here with the hours. And then elaborate on your expectations of the role, what the weekly, weekly, and monthly tasks and work will be like, who they'll be working with. Do you have meetings every single week that they're going to need to attend? All of that is super important information to include. And here's even, they put some tips on what you should put. Details on the outcome of the work, skills and knowledge required, anything unique about the project, or information about your business. Next, you're going to move into the pricing, and this is where you can select all of the price ranges that you're comfortable with receiving. Good thing is you can see right here, all of this is outside of the US, $15 to $20. Mid-level is going to start to include inside the US. If you guys are working inside the US, that is an important feature to have. But you can see it's a very competitive price range for any type of freelancer. And they vet all of these freelancers themselves. They make them go through a rigorous application process, and they don't just if they don't have prior freelancing experience, and a lot of it, they don't even let them onto FreeeUp. So these are all experienced people. And then you can leave comments about anything else. Are you looking for someone in the US? Do they need to know English 100% as their native language, right? And then do you have a preference for where they're located? If not, then you can leave that open. You can put specific notes. How long do you need them for? Again, super important right there to understand ahead of time. What are your scheduling preferences? Can they be flexible? Do they need to work when you're working? What hours do you need them? Does the freelancer need to have availability on weekends? Again, a super important thing, especially if you have processes and work being sent out over the weekend. If you have something automated that sends out work like we do, you'll get tasks still on the weekend. And when we first started it, we forgot about, not every freelancer we have works weekends. So we were getting work not getting completed. So it's just one of those things that you learn. But anyways, does the freelancer need to be able to have audio or video calls with you, customers, or clients? Super important question to answer. Introduction, how do you want to, or how quickly do you need them? And when do you, or what type of message works for you? Do you want them to email you? Do you want them to do a Skype or video call? Do you have another preference? And then you just submit the request. Super, super easy. So again, I definitely recommend FreeeUp, guys. If you haven't checked it out before, definitely get on here. We're going to give you a little bonus at the end of this video. You might want to check that out. Ongoing work right here. You can see this on Upwork, right? This is actually one, I love Upwork too. You should definitely use more than one freelancer platform, because not every time will you be able to find a freelancer on one platform for a specific position, and then maybe, the other platform will have that position available instantly. You just want to do it especially if you're trying to find people quickly. Use use multiple platforms. These are my two favorite, is FreeeUp and Upwork. Upwork, though, you do have to do more of the work on the finding the freelancers, okay? So here's just some tips as far as going on Upwork. Make sure your title is super enticing, but also very specific as to what you're looking for. You can see right here, we do something kind of like, it's really salesy. We put in all caps with these asterisks, ongoing work, letting them know that this isn't just a one-time job, and you can't do it if it's not ongoing work, but usually if you're hiring someone for a project, it's more than likely a job that's going to be continuous. So we always put ongoing work if it's that type of job, just because that's enticing to someone. They want to know that they're going to be able to have consistent work. People love consistent work. Then we say blog article planning and writing. They have to be able to do some of the planning and the writing for the real estate niche. Okay, so that's super important to understand. We are being very specific about the job, but we're also trying to sell this job at the same time. People, in the VA market, you have to understand that they're sitting there on the other side of the screen scrolling through tons and tons of jobs. They have jobs that are submitted every single day, and they're competing for those jobs. But what you really need is people who are top level to reach out to you, so that way you can set meetings with them. Those are the people you want to work with, right? Next, we go into the job details. So we see here, we have a quick description. I have a client in the real estate niche that needs blog articles written for their website, not looking for a rookie. And then some requirements, 1,000 to 1,500 words, must understand SEO and keyword densities, internal and external backlinking practices, all of that. Sense of humor is a bonus. Just specifics about the job. Less than 30 hours per week, 3 to 6 months on project length, because that's just the setting we chose when we posted it. We didn't know. We didn't want to tell that person, yes, it's forever, because we didn't know. You never know. But we did know we had them for at least 3 to 6 months. So that's what we wanted to start with. And then we're looking for someone in the intermediate, skill range. We told them it's an ongoing project. A few questions that we like to have them ask. It'll ask you if you want to ask your own screening questions. I always recommend putting at least 1 to 2 screening questions, because of the fact that it makes someone actually go out and answer a question. And don't use the ones that they give you automatically. You'll see a bunch of templated screening questions. Make up your own, because it makes those freelancers actually respond. And if they don't, then they're not worth your time. Okay, but it's super easy. You can see we're looking for native or bilingual. We like to do at least 100 hours of work, at least $1,000 made, and a 90+ rating as far as job success. But guys, this is a super important part of getting the freelancer. If you don't put in the right settings and criteria to do the job, you're not going to find the right people. So maybe you're ready to outsource, or you're thinking about outsourcing for your business. If so, what I want to recommend you guys do, especially if you haven't done something like this before, is check out this video. It was an interview with me and my buddy Nathan Hirsch. He's actually the owner of FreeeUp, okay? That website I was just showing you. Check that out, because he goes through a lot of information about hiring and outsourcing, and he has a ton of content himself, so you'll definitely want to look him up. But check out this video up here in the top right hand corner. Now, with tip number 4, we want to talk about questions to ask during the interview, like when you actually get them on video or on a call. A great question to ask someone is put them in a predicament where they're going to be potentially flustered, or things are going to be a little stressful. And the best question I think to ask is, what is it that you do when you feel yourself becoming overwhelmed with a project that's been given to you on one of these freelancer platforms? What is it? What's the response, or what is the action that you take when that happens? The next question would be, how long have you been in project management? What kinds of projects have you managed before? And also, what experience do you have with marketing and agency style marketing? The third thing would be, walk me through some sort of process or workflow that you've created to help a team facilitate a specific job. Have you done anything like that recently that you can talk about? The fourth thing is going to be, what do you do when your project is in trouble? What is it that the action you take or the steps you take to make sure that you resolve any issues that come to a problem? And talk about a specific problem you've had in the past and actually how you resolved that issue. This type of question is going to tell you how they're actually going to handle difficult situations. And project managers on a regular basis go through difficult situations, because they're always trying to improve workflows or correct workflows, right? So make sure that you think about those types of questions and how you can actually frame them to get that project manager to describe how they would react in a fire type of situation. Now, tip number 5, we're going to talk about the best qualities of a project manager. These are some super important qualities for any project manager, so let's go through these really quick. Number 1 is leadership. Any type of management level position is going to have a strong leadership role, okay? So make sure that you're finding someone who is able to take charge and make decisions on the fly if they have to, but also someone that's super confident in their ability to produce results. Number 2 is crisis resolution. Guys, project managers are literally always trying to solve problems. That's what their job essentially at a very base level is. A project manager finds an issue and then provides a solution by creating organization and workflows for a team to come together and complete a task. Make sure that these people don't get, freaked out or stressed out or super overwhelmed when some type of crisis does start to take off. Number 3 is going to be communication skills. This person is pretty much going to be involved with every aspect of your business, at least as far as a high-level project manager is concerned, right? And most of you are going to be hiring someone that's a higher level, not an individual account manager. This higher level project manager has to be able to communicate, because if not, you're going to have problems arise. They're going to be the only one who knows about it, and you as the business owner needs to be informed so that way you know how to operate other aspects of your business. Make sure that this person understands how important communication is and that they're quick to respond to you. If you notice that during your interview or during the hiring process that they take forever to respond, probably not going to be a good project manager. And then number 4 is kind of going into number 1 and 2, but it's just decision-making skills. These people need to be able to work on their own and for themselves. You shouldn't have to hold their hand. They need to be able to think for themselves. So make sure that they actually understand how to make a decision, how to work through a step or an issue logically and rationally so that they can come to a conclusion that is actually effective for your business. Number 6, we're going to talk about avoiding specific types of freelancers for project management. So let's go through these. You don't want someone that just applies to any and every position. This just tells that they're desperate and they're not really going to be putting forth their best effort. Yes, desperation can be a good fuel, good work and quality work, but a lot of the time, if it's with a freelancer doing multiple jobs across multiple different types of work, they're probably not as qualified as you would think. So make sure that you're not getting someone that's just applying to any job that you post. Number 2 is going to be, while yes, they may put their rates at $2 per hour, and yes, that does seem super attractive, but you get what you pay for. And I know you guys have heard that before. So make sure that you understand what jobs are okay to pay for really cheaply and what jobs aren't, okay? If it's a job that requires a writer and someone who writes really well, if you have a content marketing approach to marketing, right? If you're not really focused heavily on sales copy and ads, but you're writing actual blog articles and creating videos, you need someone that actually writes really well, because otherwise your primary form of marketing is only subpar, right? So make sure that the positions that matter, you're spending money where you need to, and the positions that don't really require as much attention or skill, those are the ones you can hire for cheaply. Number 3 is going to be a person with a bunch of jobs, but no reviews. If people aren't actually going out and leaving a review, then they probably weren't happy with the work. Now, we know that in marketing, yes, it is hard to get reviews, but on these freelancer platforms, they usually do a really good job of getting reviews. And they actually require the process once you complete a job. Like, for example, on Upwork and FreeeUp, when you do finish a job, they ask that you review that person as soon as you close the job out on their platform. So it's usually a bad sign if you don't see reviews on their profile, but they have a bunch of jobs working. The 4th thing would be someone who asks too many questions or has too many stipulations. Sometimes, guys, if someone is asking you questions about the industry, about the service, and how it actually works, for example, if somebody said, well, I don't really know how to write sales copy, I just know copywriting. Well, that's the thing. If I hired you for sales copywriting, then you need to understand what sales copywriting is versus just general copywriting. You shouldn't be asking me that question. So therefore, I probably will not hire you. But biggest thing, guys, just make sure that they're not asking, ridiculous questions that you shouldn't have to answer, and that they're not requiring you to put a $500 deposit before they do any work if it's not that type of job that would ever require that type of payment. Just make sure there's nothing ridiculous going on with the actual requests or knowledge from that VA. Number 7 is going to be testing their knowledge, guys. You have to actually test their knowledge. You can't just expect that because someone says they're an expert and they maybe write a decent job description or have a decent portfolio from what you can see that they're an expert. Guys, it's easy to fake things online, and so you have to test someone and actually make sure that they're worth what they say they are worth. So, for example, sometimes I've hired a graphic designer who their portfolio looks amazing, but then we have them submit a sample and it's nowhere near the quality of their work from their portfolio. Why would I pay this person if they're not able to match match what they put in their portfolio, right? So just make sure that they're actually, they're the right type of people for the job. A lot of the times what we will do is have someone submit a sample to us. So for example, if we needed a blog writer, we would actually have them submit 500 words in, a given topic that we gave to them. So that way we can see if they're able to do research on their own, formulate structure to an article, and then actually provide decent content. The cool thing is, guys, a lot of these people will do this for free, so definitely make sure you're testing their knowledge. Number 8 is going to be making the right offer. After you actually do the interview and you've narrowed down the list to the 2 or 3 people that you want to make an offer to, now's the time to make sure that you don't mess it up or push them away, or make sure that you don't step on any toes with any of these potential employees. First thing before you get into it is, again, making sure that they fit the culture of your business, or they fit the atmosphere of your business. You don't want them to come in with a team that's meshing really well together and then cause a bunch of tension with the rest of your team members. They need to seem like someone who's going to work well with everybody else in your business. The next thing is going to be salaries. Guys, what I like to do is put everyone on a probationary period, especially with VAs. If they're asking for a specific rate, I usually will ask, a certain amount underneath the rate that they initially asked for, unless I know that they're top of the top. They've submitted several articles or submitted several forms of evidence that show that they are the person that they really are and they're worth the money that they're saying that they're worth. So the probationary period is really a 3-month period where they actually have to continuously make sure that they're submitting work on time, their level of quality stays high, and that they're working well with everybody in the team. There's no discrepancies in pay, week to week or month to month. And the reason for that is because if they can't do something consistent, I'm not going to pay them the rate they're worth. Usually most freelancers are okay with accepting that condition. As long as you don't undercharge them and try to charge them, half of what they're actually asking for, most people will agree to this. So I like to do that with salaries and then work them up to what they're asking for initially. The third thing about making the right offer is setting the expectations properly. Guys, if you didn't say in the interview that they were going to have to be doing a specific job, if they come back when you come to them later and ask if they can do that job, but they come back to you and say, well, I can't, that's not really their fault. And you can't really look at them or judge them based on that, or at least I wouldn't, because you didn't put that in your description to begin with. That might mean you need to hire someone else, or it might mean you need to help train that person to do a specific job that you need them to do if it wasn't included in your original job posting. So set the expectations properly and just make sure that all responsibilities that you could possibly think of that are going to relate to the job are listed in the job and discussed with that freelancer or VA. So guys, tip number 9 is coming back to FreeeUp and letting you guys know that in my opinion, they are the best place to find a project manager, especially their project manager specifically, but any other positions as well that you could possibly think of are really, really great to find here at FreeeUp. And the cool thing is, if you sign up using our link right below this video in the description, you'll actually get $50 free. It's a free $50 credit for you to get on and hire any type of, it doesn't even have to be a project manager. It can be for any position that you're looking for, or you can just use coupon code JSTEEN50 and it'll do the same thing for you. So again, freeup.com/serial entrepreneur, as you can see up here in the URL, or JSTEEN50 at checkout, and that will put a $50 credit into your account. But guys, that's it for this video. Just keep in mind, even if you don't have a client just yet for your agency, you still need to be looking and finding people that you can have on your team or hire for your team to be able to complete jobs for your clients that you do get in the future. But guys, that is it. I will see you guys on the next video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and the like button down below this video if you enjoyed today's training, and I will see you guys on the next one. Until then, Serial Entrepreneur out. Ready to start living the 6-figure work wherever, be your own boss lifestyle? Well, at Serial Entrepreneur Academy, we'll teach you how to use a laptop and internet to start your own social media and digital marketing agency. Get started with our free Facebook ads training. Links in the description below, guys. See you in the course. Serial Entrepreneur out.